Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Star Wars Rebels, Moonbeam City Ruby, and Adventure Time.
Wow, you just slurred like Moonbeam City right there.
It's hard to say in the middle of all of that. I am Dylan Hysen, and today I am joined by Sam Quattro.
Hey!
Today, Sam and I will be giving you our first discussion out of the three upcoming podcasts after this on Adventure Time's Stakes miniseries. Today we'll be covering parts 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 only. Stakes is airing in 2 parts every night this week, up to Thursday.
And then they're just going to replay all of it on Friday.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, that's what the draw schedule thing says.
Arguably, they should have just aired them all together anyway, but
I can't help you with that.
Yeah. This is fine. This is the least of the things to criticize Cartoon Network about. So we'll be covering Stakes every night, so you can check out our podcast here at overlyanimated.com. In the future, we'll probably be covering Adventure Time every week, but we'll see. I don't even know when it comes back after this. And just a note, I am aware that Stakes is leaked. All parts now, which is probably news to Sam. And
what does that mean? Probably news to Sam.
This is the last 2 parts just leaked recently.
I knew that.
Okay. Anyway, our objective here is to not have seen the later parts that we're recording on, which is not true of Sam today, but hopefully other than that, we'll break it. I have not seen the rest of Stakes.
My God. Don't
Anyway, that's just what I'm saying.
Never reveals his secrets.
I mean, we're recording this earlier than the episode's airing, but slightly.
I don't want to get arrested.
Only slightly. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone listening to this has also not seen the leak.
You're using my full name here, Dylan.
I'm sorry, I just implicated you. Anyway, yeah. So this is meant to be us pretending as if we are watching it the night, which sometimes will be true anyway. We're just gonna watch it the night of, and then
we don't need to tell them this.
I mean, that's because I think half the people listening to this probably are watching the leak, so they want to know what's up with this. So.
Literally don't need to.
Anyway, yeah. So if you are watching night to night, you are fine. That's the main point here. Okay, so let's get into Stakes parts. We're covering parts 1 and 2 tonight because that's what Cartoon Network is airing. Marceline the Vampire Queen and Everything Stays. I can't believe we didn't have an episode called Marceline the Vampire Queen yet.
Marceline the Vampire Queen.
Yes. So even though this episode wasn't really about her being a vampire queen, but
it was an introductory episode to the miniseries.
Okay.
Let's go on.
So yeah, a lot of hype for Stakes, and we will see if it lives up to these kind of high expectations. Stakes is basically why Sam and I caught up on the show. So, well, there's a lot riding here. So Sam,
I feel bad, but
But what?
Well, you were gonna say Sam. What were you gonna say after that?
I'm gonna say Sam. What did you think of the first 2 parts of Stakes?
Well, I cried at Everything Stays.
You actually did cry at Everything Stays.
I did. It was, oh my God, Rebecca Sugar, I need you. I miss you so much.
She's on Steven Universe, and we watch that show all the time.
Steven Universe hasn't been a thing since October, Dylan.
Okay, that's 1 month, Sam.
I need her. And I miss her in Adventure Time.
That is true. Yeah.
I need Rebecca Sugar in my life, dude.
Okay, you had a song, and you had her voicing a character here, so that's good.
Yeah, anyway, I liked the first part. I don't know, I feel like maybe we'll get into this, sort of why Marceline wants to become mortal again.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
Because that's something I really want to talk to you about.
Sure.
Since we know the gig is up. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shipping stuff is a little bit of that.
A little bit in this first episode, yeah.
A little bit of that in the first episode.
Bubbling.
Bubbling.
The bubbling.
I say bubbling. Okay.
The bubbling.
Bubbling.
Okay, that's enough saying that.
Whatever. Sugarless gum, whatever, what have you. Anyway.
Bubble line.
No!
Okay, keep going.
You insane person.
Keep going.
Anyway, Vampires, they're things.
Okay, no. Okay, so that's okay. That means Sam has finished with her introductions. Okay.
Yeah, because you kept like interrupting me and I lost track
Okay,
of my...
Stakes. Okay, here's what I think. Stakes Part 1 and 2. Part 2 is excellent. I think it's one of the best episodes of the show in quite a while. The show is not at a point where it's putting out like super high quality episodes right on the regular. Like it's putting out high quality episodes, but not like incredible ones. And this is the best one in like half a season, I think. I was not in love with Part 1 though, so I have a lot of complaints about it. But it was okay.
There could have been a better episode titled Marceline the Vampire Queen.
That is not my main complaint with the episode, is the episode title. My main complaint
Okay.
is actual things that happen in the episode. So, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, everything stays, I think, in the context of the larger miniseries, which I have not seen yet, might seem rushed in retrospect. Like, I think next episode is not like a continuation of the flashbacks that we saw in Everything Stays. So I wonder if we could have done 2 episodes of these flashbacks instead of just this one. And yeah, because it's like we just get like the minimal amount of depth with Marceline's background. And it's like, what are we doing for the rest of the series? I thought this was about Marceline's history, you know? So apparently we're just going to be fighting the vampires who we saw in this episode. I guess that's where we're going.
Apparently.
Yeah, we'll talk about. There's a article by Oliver Sava from the AV Club, who has seen the entire thing and kind of gives minor spoilers. But you know, that's
Everything Stays.
I don't. Do you actually think this is? I don't know. I'm not super into the song yet. Like we haven't had its full.
I don't know. Maybe
we haven't had
its
full impact yet in the show.
Maybe I don't know. It's just like the
spoiler alert. According to this article by Oliver Svat, Marceline will be reprising the song later in the series.
Okay, that's nice. Anyway,
that's when I think it will have its full impact.
What was I saying? You keep messing me up, Dylan.
I'm sorry.
Stop it! Stop interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
I cut that out. That was an annoying voice. Anyway, it's just like the surrounding implications around like seeing her mom in that song and like Simon. It's like, oh, it's just so sad.
Okay, let's talk about Part 1.
Okay.
Okay, so, what's the good parts? What stood out to you about Part 1, Marceline the Vampire Queen?
The bubbling.
Yes, for sure.
You know, Bubblegum is like 2 inches taller than Marceline. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
I wasn't really too crazy about the villagers, TBH, or really the rest of it. So, I like cliffhanger.
So
and I like that she told Finn to burn her diaries because they're embarrassing. Yeah, that's what I would do.
That's the last thing you would say before you're about to be eviscerated by the sun.
Yep.
Okay. Noted. Okay, so I think we're on the same page here. This episode suffers from a typical blight that the show usually has, which is let's shove Finn and Jake into an otherwise non-Finn and Jake episode-itis. That is what is going wrong here, especially Jake, who is like already not the most sympathetic character in my view, and here he's just like insufferable in this episode, and it's not very good. A lot of times I think they think Jake acting like a jerk is like really funny, and it's not. I think it's just jerkish, you know. Sometimes he's funny. I mean, I'm not saying Jake's not funny in general, just like I think he's funnier as a sympathetic character, right?
Yeah. Jake's a mystery.
Yeah, I think he's the least well utilized character on the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately. So the good parts of this episode, I agree, are the Bubblegum and Marceline interactions at the beginning, and then I guess the ending.
Just the whole middle part is like.
But the villagers are annoying, and
yeah, they kind of are.
Finn and Jake are kind of annoying, and the framing device is kind of annoying. So there you go. I didn't think it was an incredible episode overall. Woo! Let's talk about the bubbling parts, though.
Sure.
What did you think of Bubblegum's? Marceline, I'm so very, very, very excited to test my new lab out.
Oh my god! I saw this thing on Tumblr, and it was like her like trying to say that I love you, but she couldn't like get it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just like, you know how in anime, how they just have like a dark cloud over their face if they say something stupid?
Yeah.
It's like that. Anyway, I don't know. Bubblegum. She's a big old tease. She likes to tease.
Do you think Bubblegum is doing that on purpose?
No, I don't think so.
She's just like kind of oblivious.
I think she is like really, really excited to test out her new lab on Marceline. Like legit. I think that's really.
But then she also says, "I care about you, and I think you're making the right choice."
Yeah.
And she says, "And someday when you die, I'll be the one who puts you in the ground." What? Like,
that's a nice little nod back to what was missing. I'm just your problem. Marceline. She sings I'm gonna bury you in the ground.
Interesting. I wonder if that is an intentional
I don't know.
callback. Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. Like Bubblegum is kind of hard to read in here, right?
Yeah.
I think this is kind of true to her sometimes socially oblivious character, right?
Yeah.
So
I love her though.
Yeah, no, I think she's sympathetic here. Even
me and her are best friends in Tomodachi life.
This is like your proudest achievement.
Yeah. Also, Jake and Marceline are married in that game,
which is not okay.
No.
I mean, Jake again just terrified of her here. Yeah.
Also, I like do the procedure part where Bubblegum's like, I don't think you would look good as blonde.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
no, not that procedure. Yeah.
Well,
apparently they've discussed that.
How would you know, Bubblegum? Have you ever like?
As someone who changes her hair color quite a bit, would you encourage Marceline to experiment with new hair colors?
She experiments with different hairstyles, but she never experiments with different hair colors.
Interesting.
I kind of see different hair colors, you know?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine Marceline as a blonde.
Yeah,
that seems
I want to
jarring.
see fan art of that. I haven't seen anything of it yet.
I mean, come on, guys. The leak's been out for like 2 days. Why haven't you?
It's been out since Friday. Well, come on. Pick up the pace.
Yeah, pick up the pace, guys. Okay.
Maybe after tonight we'll see some of it.
Yeah. So we have all the... So, later she's like, ooh, she said she took care of a lot of... tons is an understatement of vampires who she's killed, right? Which is, I was like, that's interesting. And then they talk about it next episode. So that's not interesting anymore. What else we got here? Look into my eyes, man. I didn't do it. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I like that part when Marceline and Finn. When Marceline's like, look in my eyes, and then Finn's like, honestly, it looks like you're not sure if you did. Okay, I'm not sure.
She's like, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's.
I had a weird dream.
And then there's like this villagers thing with the Paul guy, who had like two different things.
It's like blah 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 blah.
Okay, and then at the end, they have the thing in the cave. Marceline's like, burn my diaries. Okay, anything else from this episode that's notable? So I kind of want to just talk about part 2.
The reason why Marceline wanted to change.
So, does this episode say anything about that? Do you think?
It sort of does. Like when they're talking about the procedure, it's like Marceline sort of wants to grow up, and she was just a messed up kid when she got turned into a vampire. Blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, she does say that, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Oh yeah, I didn't write that down. I wrote it down. I didn't mention it yet.
Yeah,
she became a vampire when she's a messed up kid. Now 1,000 years later, and she's still messed up.
I don't know. I was just like, looking back on past episodes, Marceline's just so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I wonder. Well, obviously, I guess a lot of it has to do with her immortality and like her lack of empathy with others.
Talk about that.
I don't know. It's like even I was rewatching some Marceline episodes last night. And was rewatching Evicted, and she has a line in like her first song that says, "I'm not mean. I'm 1,000 years old, and I just lost track of my moral code."
Interesting.
I don't know. It's just like, and what was it?
She definitely like says things which would make her seem like she's not an empathetic person anymore. But at the same time, it's not like she's killing anyone on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a perception, I think, that she has of herself.
And her like first like couple episodes, she's really mean. Or she lost track of her moral code. Her moral code is like out the window somewhere. She doesn't have it anymore.
Hmm.
But I think as like she becomes buddies with Finn and Jake and like becomes friends possibly again with Bubblegum. Yeah, I think some of that like comes back and she starts to become a nicer, maybe happier person. I don't know, I'm thinking back to like that astral plane episode where Finn is like dreaming and like his astral projection like goes up into space and he encounters Marceline like in the clouds singing a really sad song.
Oh yeah,
And
true.
Marceline's closet too, where she's like singing about um not relating to anybody because they haven't lived as long as she has.
So do you
I
think that the immortality is the main thing that she wants to get rid of in
I,
terms of why she wants to become not a vampire anymore?
I don't know if she really sees it that way. I don't know if she's gotten there yet. I think she sees it as just she wants to not be as sad as she is. And I don't know, maybe like the immortality part of it didn't cross her mind, but the vampirism definitely did. I mean, I don't know, like she can't go out in the daytime. That's upsetting. I mean,
Yeah,
that happened in the first couple minutes of the episode,
yeah,
right?
with the umbrella stuff, that was cute.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it was painful. um, I don't know. It's just like I guess she's just really burnt out on her life, and she
burnt.
needs a
Ah,
she's burnt out on her life, and she needs a change.
she's just tired of the restrictions, and then there's also the component that maybe she doesn't want to live forever too, because she's too sad.
She's just so sad.
Um,
Makes me sad.
let's walk through Marceline's heritage.
Her heritage.
Because
Okay.
I need to make sure I have this down.
Okay.
So, because so I don't remember almost anything from season 1 and 2. So, like, Marceline originally half
Yes.
demon, half human. We see
Mhm.
her mother, who is human, in
Yes.
the second episode, and we never see in her demon father. Is that true?
No, we have.
Or is he the guy from the vampire thing in season 1, or is that the vampire king who turns her and that's her father?
Okay, let me.
So which one is it?
His name is Hunson Abadir.
Yeah,
He
he's the
is-
one from the season 1 and 2. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't in season 1. He was in season 2.
Okay.
He was the Night. He was, and it came from the Nightosphere.
I thought that was. So that's not the Vampire King who we see
No.
at the end of this. Okay.
No, he is. I don't know what his exact title is, but he's not the Vampire King.
We've never seen the Vampire King before.
No,
So why is Marceline the Vampire Queen?
we'll find out.
Okay. So Hudson is her birth father.
Yeah. Hold on, I want to see what his like actual.
Yet she has the name Vampire Queen. I mean, okay.
Yes.
Marceline's character has never really made sense because like they didn't plan for her to have an extensive backstory. They just like Pendleton probably just made a
Her
cool
name
character.
rhymes.
Yeah. And
Like,
and now they're trying to explain things around her. So it's not like, "Oh, Dylan, why don't you know this these dumb details?" Because they're dumb. They are dumb details like and they kind of just have to fit it in.
I don't know. I would say that maybe the point of this miniseries is to figure out why she is the Vampire Queen.
Interesting. I do wonder if I assume we'll learn that. Yeah. So the Nightosphere had to have been, around before the nuclear stuff, and I presumably the scene we see in episode 2 with her and her mom is before the nuclear stuff. I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell.
It's like
to be honest.
right around there.
It looks like they're in like a van.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are.
And so in that scene we see Marceline's mother, human mother, for the first time, and she's telling us, she's ending a story about how she met her father, Marceline's father.
Abadir.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would like more details on why Hudson exists. I don't know.
He is like, how do I explain this? Have you ever seen a movie such as The Omen or Rosemary's Baby.
Age always existed, it says on the wiki.
But have you seen like one of those movies where like a demonic pregnancy happens?
Sure. Oh, you think that's what that is?
Yeah, it might be that.
I feel like, because I feel like her telling a story in, do we know the mother's name?
No, we don't.
I feel like her telling that story signifies that they're actually like a couple, you know?
Maybe.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so this
Oh,
vampire
her
king.
dad doesn't seem like that bad of a guy.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well,
I need to rewatch that. Okay, so this awful kind of. So she's going back to being half demon, half human. And the demon part is only manifested in that she can acquire vampires' powers. Presumably, that is why she's able to stake vampires and suck them up and gain their powers. But it also could just be that anyone could do that. You had that question and you asked me that, yeah. Or you like proposed that as a topic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume it's because she's half demon. I don't know if Finn could do that. Although Finn is like a cosmic entity, apparently. So
I love Finn. He is one with the universe. That one.
They're weird Finn backstory lately. Okay, Everything Stays. Yeah, so we talked about that scene. That scene's great. And then the Everything Stays song.
My tears. Oh, here's a question. Do you think Rebecca Sugar is an okay voice actress? Because I don't really think she is.
I don't know. She didn't say that much.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
I mean, Rebecca, I love you, and I like love hearing your voice, but
it was fine. She said like two things.
It was fine. Yeah,
fine. So the Simon and Marcy scene. I'm glad we get this. This is my favorite. We've last Adventure Time podcast we talked about how the show just rotates through 30 different plot lines. This is my favorite of the 30 plot threads that they go through is Simon and Marcy. Here we see Simon recording a video. Is this a video we've seen in a past episode?
Like in the Christmas ones?
Is that? Yeah, I didn't rewatch the Christmas one, so
I haven't seen those in a very long time. Like he says some of the same stuff, but those videos weren't addressed to Marceline, and also that was like before the bomb hit.
Okay, interesting. So maybe it's different.
I might be right about that.
Also, Marceline's dreams are weird from that previous scene, which I liked.
My dreams are weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because she's half demon.
I guess, yeah. Was that alluding to that these are dreams that she's having, I guess? I guess that's what's happening. I don't know. Anyway, Simon and Marcy, and he talks about Betty, and this is at a point where he's already kind of insane, right? And is just kind of, while he still has some semblance of control, is like trying to do the last of his things, and then he leaves Marcy.
God, why did he just like abandon her like that? That makes me mad.
Yeah, I didn't. So this is the latest we've seen them, because the last time we saw the episode of them, it was definitely before this.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what does she do after that? After she's left?
I don't know. I think I read somewhere the theory was that they got her dad, or like he said that he'll like arrange for somebody to take care of her. I think her dad was that person. Because I think in our timeline of Marceline, our next point in time is when her dad ate her fries.
Interesting. Did we see a flashback of that?
Not in this episode, but
like in a way before, yeah.
And Memory of a Memory.
Okay.
With Ash. And that's the Hambo episode.
Oh yeah. Hambo too has to come in.
Anyway. Whatever.
So when we see Marceline in the next scene with like teenage Marceline, I guess, even though she's always teenage Marceline, like staking, go running around a city, we are not in the Nightosphere though.
No.
So she went to the Nightosphere and is now not in the Nightosphere. You think that's the timeline?
No, she never. I don't know if she ever was in the Nightosphere. She might have been.
So okay, I don't know.
No, the dad fries thing happened on Earth.
So she's never actually living there with her dad.
I don't know. I'm not her.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You wanted to buy these Marceline boots from that had Marceline's face on the thing.
From Doc Martin.
Doc Martin, okay. That was
to share my secrets.
That was before the podcast started.
Why do you have to do this?
Because it was relevant.
Oh, whatever. Anyway.
So the next scene that scene was super sad, I guess, and yes, the ice tear. Yeah.
He scratches her. He's like, ah!
Like, I wish we could spend more than like 20 seconds on that scene. I don't know. That's new information that it was emotional. And then we have Marcy with this guy called the Fool, this vampire, and then he stakes her, and then she gains the ability to fly. And then we have all these scenes of Marceline interacting with humans who think that she is a vampire.
Yep.
So I was I didn't piece everything together watching this episode until I got to the end. I wonder if it's supposed to be obvious that she's not a vampire at this point.
She doesn't have bite marks on her neck.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know if that means like.
That's.
I wonder if average viewers watching this is like apparent.
I don't know. I feel like you think too much into things.
Well, no, I just didn't. She's just always. I feel like the default with Marceline is she is a vampire. So now, like, we see her flying and stuff, and it's not necessarily super obvious that this is how she's getting powers. And we learn that the powers are separate from being a vampire. That's kind of interesting. Like, that's new information, I think.
Yeah.
So a lot of this challenged a lot of notions of, like, you always assume that she could do all these things because she's a vampire and stuff, or at least I did. I don't know. So yeah, when I was watching this part with the humans, I didn't understand that she wasn't until something happened. I don't know. So so I'm in the sunlight. I'm not a flipping vampire, which now makes sense that she's not a vampire.
Yeah, Dylan.
I was like, oh, that's a detriment that is acquired later after being a vampire.
Oh, you silly Billy.
What do you think of Art Must Survive with
I thought that was funny.
And then she's singing with the humans, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like overly serious. Like, even though everything is like going down the toilet,
yeah,
Art has to survive.
Yeah. What do you think of Marceline's, what is it, cat or dog? I don't
Her dog, her poodle, Schwabble.
Schwabble, yeah.
He was in, it came from the Nightosphere.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
he might be immortal too.
Is it a vampire dog?
I don't know.
Is it a demon dog?
I think the wiki says that he's a zombie dog.
But we see that Schwabble is the disguised, right? So
that's not.
That's just that's just someone disguising as the thing that already existed, not that
yes.
the animal was. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, what do you think of all of this stuff with the humans and Marceline fitting in?
I want to know why they have to wear hats.
Well, so we have that explained. Yeah, they get that explained here.
I wasn't really paying attention.
I wrote it down, I assume.
I know the little Fiona girl.
Yeah, they imply that the animal hats are to protect against vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
That makes sense.
I think that's retconning. Again, we're trying to explain things. We're not retconning. We're trying to explain these funky initial designs, right?
I thought it was like a survivalism thing, like in the world.
Yeah.
Where maybe they have to look like.
Well, it is like a survivalism thing, right? I guess.
Well, I meant like in the world with like the oozy creatures and apparently the rainbow things that they were talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was referring to. Yeah, Marcy, her with this the whatever, I forgot the guy's name who was dressing up as the poodle. And
yeah, that guy.
Was he the shapeshifter? No, she gets shapeshifting somewhere else, right?
No, he's the shapeshifter.
He's the shapeshifter, okay. And yeah, and then he stakes her and they're on the boat and they're going away from the continent. I don't know. So is the continent that they're on the one that we see now in Adventure Time?
Yeah, is that Ooh, or is Ooh the whole entire world? Like,
I don't know.
What does it mean?
Is this implying that there are more humans on the world?
Oh my god, Dylan! I just read a fan fiction about this last night. It was from 2013. Oh my god!
About what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
About there being different like continents and like humans elsewhere, and they were coming to Ooh.
Isn't that the point of the scene though? Like
yes.
They're just.
Wow, good job. Do I still have the fan fiction open?
Person from 2013, yeah. Yeah, so I guess there's more humans out there besides the fish humans, except for that what's her face is not a fish human and is just an actual human.
Susan,
yeah.
Also, good job, KK Glinka. of
Like,
Arch of Our Own.
nice. Congrats on
Writer of the Red Sky series, published in April 19th of 2013.
man predicted it. Yeah. So let's call U just the continent they're on. Although I assume it's supposed to. They say land. It's land of U though, right? Not like world of U.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just the continent. Okay. Yeah. So more humans, and Marceline absorbs the guy, and because she absorbs the guy, she knows that the Vampire King is there in the ocean, I guess.
And she's like, leave.
What do you think's gonna happen with this Vampire King? Because then later we see Jake at the end of this episode. Jake sees the Vampire King is there in the present too.
I guess the Vampire King's gonna be a guy. I don't know.
I mean, we still haven't seen. So we haven't seen Marceline turned in his flashbacks.
No.
So presumably she's turned by the Vampire King.
Presumably.
And yeah, so the plot, I guess, of the miniseries. I don't know. This is spoilers. This is in Oliver Savas' Adventure Time. Stakes slays Marceline's demons without puncturing her heart. It's kind of a lukewarm review of the.
What does that even
The
mean?
entire miniseries. He's like, it's not as emotional. Focuses too much on the present, not enough on episode 2 stuff. Apparently, now that Marceline's a human, the vampires that she absorbs are going to come back out, and that's like the plot of the rest of the series, says him. So, if the Vampire King's there in the present, that means she doesn't absorb the Vampire King. Means he probably turns her, I guess. And in the present, Marceline says, no soy vampire.
Yep, not a vampire anymore.
No soy vampire.
Untie me.
Untie me?
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. So Marceline's a human.
Little half demon, half human.
Half human, half human. Do you think this is going to last? Is this a permanent change to her character? Presumably, yes, because we have an entire miniseries about it.
Well, entire miniseries isn't like that much in the grand scheme of things, is it?
It's a big deal for the show. It hasn't done this before.
I don't think she is, for the sake of plot in the future.
Well, I don't think her being a vampire like is relevant to anything. She just sucks up red things a lot. That's like all that happens.
Well, it's relevant to the backstory of the show and like her immortality.
Yeah. Okay. So something about her immortality is that because she's half demon, her lifespan is probably increased beyond that of a normal human anyway.
Oh yeah, it is. Remember the farm world?
Yeah, I read that on the wiki today. I don't remember the farm world, but I read that on the wiki. Yeah. So she'll live for like 950 or something, more years anyway. Even though she's not immortal anymore, right? Assuming that's how that works, it like stops her at being a teenager,
like
and then it
Twilight.
restarts the clock. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think of wouldn't Bubblegum want her to be immortal? Because isn't Bubblegum then going to be lonely later?
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention that.
Yeah.
I was like, these are like pretty much the only two people could understand each other from that perspective. Well, Simon can too, but he's like Ice King crazy. So
We have no idea why Bubblegum is immortal, though.
Because she's a piece of gum.
Okay, yeah, but so is everything in this world.
I couldn't tell you, Dylan. Maybe she scienced up some immortality.
Maybe, yeah.
My thing with that was like, I don't know, gum. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't really disappear.
I guess.
Well, it does if you swallow.
Anyway, everything stays.
Everything stays.
I really liked the episode.
Me too.
And
I like Rebecca's song.
Yeah.
Everything stays, Dylan.
So the things I'm looking forward to in the series are, like whether Marceline's going to stay human. What are the consequences of her becoming human? What are what's going to go on with Bubbline / Bubbline / yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, are we going to get moments at the end? And when is Marceline going to sing the song? Those are my big questions.
My big questions are, what are Finn and Jake going to have to do this entire thing?
Slay some vampires,
Yep.
There you go.
That's what they got to do. I don't know. I feel like the show is like getting good at like stepping away from Finn and Jake. Like there have been episodes where they just don't show up.
Yes, definitely. More so lately than ever at the end of last season.
But I feel like because it's Marceline and like she's one of the quote unquote like big four of the big four characters of the show: Finn, Jake, Bubblegum, Marceline. Right?
Yeah. I think the first three are definitely true, and Marceline historically has not been what part of the big four, but maybe she is now.
I went through like all those episodes, and like she isn't in that many episodes.
She's definitely a more minor character.
She's always like buffed up to be a bigger.
She's probably been in a similar number of episodes as Flame Princess, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like LSP has been in more episodes.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, it does seem like they're trying to make her a bigger character. So yeah, I liked Everything Stays. The first episode is okay. Looking forward to the rest of this miniseries. Last thoughts.
Stays.
There you go. Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I kind of felt a little bit weird that this miniseries was happening because in the comics, there's like two like mini comic series, like 6-issue series about Marceline, and I feel like that might be a little bit of favoritism happening.
So I saw on Adam Muto, new showrunner's Last FM Ask page today that the
FM, that's not the thing. It's Ask FM.
Ask FM, whatever. He says the comics are basically not canon.
Well, you're not canon, Adam.
No, I think he's the definition of canon. He's the showrunner, so that's how that works.
I still like the comics, Adam. Jeez.
So they're not canon. So just ignore that.
Yeah. They happen. I can't ignore that. There's like two like things happening.
Yeah, you can just separate them. Adam. You know, just separate them. And
I can't.
The other thing he said is that, or he said on there is that we're getting another Fiona episode this season. So hooray!
Good.
There you go. I'm Dylan Hysen. That's Sam Quattro. Join us tomorrow when we're covering parts 3 and 4 of Stakes, which is airing.
What are those called?
Those are called. I have them up. Those
I have them too.
Vamps About and The Empress Eyes.
Ooh, spooky.
Then May I Come In, then Take Her Back, then Checkmate, then The Dark Cloud. So there you go. Oh, and we should note Akko Costuera is back for this miniseries, who had previously left the show after season 5, so that's cool.
Wow. Everybody's coming back!
I mean, just 2 people.
For, okay. One thing. Everything stays.
Everything stays. Okay. I'm
Dylan Nice,
and that's Sam Quattro. You can find out everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com, and you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, and Jamie, a.k.a. Hannah, Fever, Mitch, Cordell University, Beatrix Strange, Buzz Lightyear, and Mailman.
Not as fast.
Not as fast as normal. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow. You and them.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
What do you mean you and them? Like me?
Yeah, you, me, yeah. And I'm hoping for good things from parts 3 and 4, although I'm not necessarily expecting a ton. Because these middle parts of miniseries are usually like, I don't know. Things are quiet in the middle.
Everything stays.
Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.